It was another blisteringly hot day on Bourbon Street. The broken red tiles of the sidewalk were soaked with rainwater from one of the frequent and much-needed storms that were common in New Orleans during the height of summer. The 30-minute downpour had done nothing to cool the air. Early morning tourists walking up the iconic street complained about the unforgiving heat, but locals like Jenn Cook were simply happy for the brief respite the storm had offered, even if it was hardly noticeable now the rains had stopped. The doors and shutters to Cece's bar were all wide open, but there was still zero airflow. Jenn plunged her hands into the ice bin behind the bar. Bottles of water and beer and half-melted ice cubes bounced around on the top of the cool water. She blew out a deep breath and turned to face the antiquated fan that whirred behind the cash register. It blew warm air in her face, but she'd take that over no air at all. It was 10 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday in July. Already, some tourists were starting to make their way up Bourbon Street. It may have been before lunch, but Cece's bar, like so many others in the area, was open and ready to sell alcohol. Jenn had already served a few people that morning, pouring frozen cocktails into plastic to-go cups. Tourists loved the fact that alcohol was cheaply available and that it was perfectly legal to walk around with a cup of whatever, unlike many other places. Personally, Jenn couldn't think of anything worse than imbibing alcohol at 10 in the morning, but heat made people do strange things. In fact, New Orleans made people do strange things. In the 5 years Jenn had lived in the city, she'd seen things she would never have believed if she hadn't seen them with her own eyes. A city didn't earn the nickname the Big Easy for nothing, and millions of tourists packed the narrow streets each year to see what all the fuss was about. New Orleans had a unique culture, something that couldn't be found anywhere else in the world. A blend of jazz, architecture, history, and food made it a one-off.